All right, good day, folk, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Trevor, and I am your one-armed bandit in the bush. We're today out at the Buckeye Reservoir up in Colorado, and it's interesting the way we got here. There's a platitude that says that the greatest meetings in life often occur as just by chance, randomly, that you would meet somebody that turns into quite an exceptional experience. Well, yesterday, as we were preparing to get out of the Moab area and start our journey back up to Colorado, the way things work with overlanders is we talk to each other because typically we communicate with like-minded folk. And I was very, very lucky to bump into Jim. Wonderful time he brought us out here. So very grateful. Thank you so much, Jim,
You're welcome.
for offering to lead us out firstly up this trail. We had a wonderful mountain drive. And we've come to this truly, truly gorgeous camping spot, as you could probably see in the background. But that's not where it stopped. I had an absolutely wonderful evening last night, just sharing thoughts, feelings around where things go and how overlanding can be used as a positive influence in the world. And having a conversation with such a wonderful patriot and an upright gentleman was truly an encouraging experience last night. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
It was absolutely wonderful just listening to your thoughts and connecting with you. So one up for the Patriots. So Jim, one thing that has really struck me is the completeness of this rig. So we're going to do a quick walk around of Jim's rig, and he's going to talk a little bit about his approach and his use case. And as is so important is that, every single rig that you look at is going to have subtle different nuances. The fundamental reality is the more personal you make it, the more emotional your attachment is to your vehicle. So personalize as much as you want for your use case. Do not get caught up with the literature and the marketing material that tries to drive you to a product with promises of benefits, features, and the positive outcomes that are going to come of it. It's not designed to your use case. Don't stick it on your truck. And here's a great example. So, Jim, thanks so much. If you'd like to maybe just talk us through when you acquired the rig and the basic fundamentals of your build and the use case, if we could start out front.
Okay, I acquired this in 2018. I like to spend most of my times in the mountains. So I set it up with a 6-inch lift, put the body armor on, the front bumpers, the back bumpers, added the lights, winch, everything to be prepared in worst case scenario in the mountains.
And insofar as little mechanical devices that enhance traction, have you done anything insofar as that goes with lockers?
I have added 35s. I have added the front locker to go with the back locker. 529 gears. So it is set up and it goes very well off-road.
This is absolutely an amazing rig. If we talk a little bit about your lighting, I see that there's, the lighting really looks good in the way that it blends from the bumper up to the grille. And the way that your displacement of your lights work is very intriguing. What would you describe as the use case in the way you've set your lights up?
The way I've set my lights up is so I have view out front, high and low, and out to the side. So I can see deer or whatever, critters are out there on the road or off to the side of the road. I stuck with the old style because I like the old school look. Yeah.
Who did you say the bumper was again? Because the more I look at it, it looks ARB. That's
Yep.
I was going to say the more I look at it, the more it looks like an old ARB. Oh yes, yep. Absolutely.
I wanted this one Great. Because it's a heavy duty. It's got protection because this whole thing is all plastic. Yeah. And if you hit anything with the original bumper, you're in trouble. Yeah. So I wanted something big that would protect as much of the front as I could.
So with all of that traction, I still see that you have track boards up top.
Yep.
Do you get to use them?
I have never had to use them. Actually, I did use them once pulling a truck and camper trailer off of a sand bed, and I had to use those to get the trailer's sewer off the ground when I pulled them out off of the sand trap.
Yeah, excellent. So, whilst I would agree that there is great benefit to make sure that when you're going out remote, you have recovery gear that you can use to get yourself out of any kind of situation. I would, however, counterbalance that with the thought that keep weight in mind and check through your rig on a regular basis and decide whether you actually need stuff on the rig. And if not, take it off. Chances are you'll probably need it the very next time you go out. So tough luck on that one. However, think about weight, think about how much, and think about how frequently it gets used. And you clearly have clearance, great mechanical structure and engineering to drive traction through the lockers, through the traction control system, through the ingenuity that Toyota have just built into the rig. And then, of course, there's one of these babies. So, I think you'll probably get out of almost any situation like that. All right, but let's keep going and let's come around to the trailer, because when I saw this, I just thought to myself, man, I just love the way this rig blends together, the way you've done the vinyls into the rig, and a very, very interesting story just about your vinyl wrap that you were sharing with me last night, if you wouldn't
Yep,
mind.
the Taco Vinyl did the wrap. They are the ones that took the time when I was having some vibration issues to get my problem solved, and they threw on the wraps for it was the old 80s 90s Toyota Baja race colors, and I just wanted something to make it match, and it turned out pretty well.
Excellent, lovely. One of the mistakes many people would make when it comes to choosing a trailer is maybe pulling a trailer that is a little too much for your rig, either based on its power plant or the kind of usage that you are going to do. So think carefully about trailers, and more so trailers that come with fold out rooftop tents on them. That thing's adding a lot of weight straight off the bat. So when I saw this rig, it just jumped out at me. One, you got clearance on it. Two, there's clearly, matching wheels and tires, and we all understand those use cases. But talk us a little bit about the trailer, how you use it, and how you selected it, because I found that story to be really intriguing, and I liked your thought processes as how you got to those conclusions.
I selected this trailer because it was lightweight. It was a bare bones box that I could, because I'm kind of on the minimalist side. I don't want a bunch of stuff. You can buy these trailers for thousands and thousands of dollars with the kitchens and all of the goodies. Um, they're heavy. This truck on the highway is not the most powerful rig, so I wanted something light. And I also wanted something that I could take anywhere. This thing will go anywhere this truck will go, that trailer will follow it. So
What about the track? Following you yesterday, I observed very interestingly the way your track runs on the trailer versus your vehicle.
yes, I first ordered a 6x8 runaway camper, and it tracked about 5 to 6 inches wider than my truck track. And being on the narrow roads that you find in the mountains, I wanted something narrower, so I switched it back over to the 4 foot, and it's pretty darn close to the width of my truck. So it tracks excellent in tight areas.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And obviously, the biggest benefit of doing something like that is if you are in soft sand and your trailer's track is not directly matched to the specification of your vehicle that you're towing it with, you're dragging it, because you're creating two sets of track in the soft sand, and therefore you're dragging the trailer through more resistance. If you have the tracks matching, there's less rolling resistance for the trailer, better fuel economy, moves better all around. That's the way that you do it. So I have not tried to do an engineering walk around. I've not tried to dive into all the greatness of products and features and how much. I really wanted to spend more time just dwelling a little bit on use case. Um, my observation has been that a lot of channels and a lot of information out there is available on the engineering, but not too many people talk to their use case and why it is important. My rig, for example, is being built because it's customized for a man who has a disability, who has only one arm. And I can assure you that based on what I've built on my rig, I got a couple scrapes and scratches that I'll dig into on subsequent views. It's important to match your rig to your use case and not match yourself to your rig. Very important. Yeah. Make sure that you put the right steps in place first. Your thoughts around that and your approach to overlanding and thinking about use case and matching that.
Well, for me, I wanted something that would take me as far away from people as I can get. This one um, fits that perfectly. I moved out of my home in Idaho in February, and I moved into this. I live in this full time,
Excellent.
and it just, it's small, it's cozy, and it goes every place I want to go.
Excellent. So wonderful. So in a wrap then, use case really important. Yes, the engineering stuff is vital, it is critical. I would strongly encourage you to look very closely at what products you choose for your suspension, for your underbody protection, for steps, etc. Starting down there, think use case because that's the most important. And quite clearly, a rig like this that is designed for use case means that you get maximum benefit out of your overlanding experience. Unfortunately, a lot of equipment, particularly in first time use, second time use, is so complex and not user friendly that it takes away from the enjoyment of going out camping. Um, we want to be in solitude. We want to be in the embrace of nature. We don't want to battle with gear. So I think use case, extremely important.
Yes.
So in closing, to a true patriot, thank you so much, Jim,
You're
for
welcome.
everything that you've done and your friendship. I look forward to staying engaged with you. Keep well, brother.
We're welcome. Thank you.